Here we have a new 2025 Toyota Sienna. This one comes in the XLE trim level, all-wheel drive as well. This is midnight black metallic, and then we have the ash soft text interior. Powertrain consists of a 245 net horsepower, 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid setup, and that's mated with the ECVT. But to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps, LED fog lights as well. And I like the middle trim here. It looks really good. It's not too flashy, anything like that, but especially in this black, it just has a modest yet sophisticated feel to it. As we come around to these wheels, these are gonna be 18-inch chrome alloy wheels. So these come standard with the 17s, but these have optional 18s, which I really, really like. Now we get passive keyless entry, all 4 doors. And then to the door panel here, I just saw this in a Corolla hatchback, and I love the white with the black there. I love how they did that. But one touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, power door lock controls, rear window locks, power mirror controls. We do have blind spot monitors in those side mirrors, bottle holders, plenty of storage throughout. Release for the gas cap, hood release, auto high beams, the power door, you can turn that on or off. You get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar support. Huge shout out to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so we're gonna see how we fit back here, which is fantastic. Really good space here, and I like that we're able to adjust the seat all the way back to the 3rd row. So this really helps if you don't have anybody in the back. And this is the only vehicle I've seen where you can let this seat this far back, and specifically for it to be in this XLE trim level. So there's so much room to move this thing about, and that's a big plus. And that's what puts the Sienna over a lot of the other competitors, just being one of the few, if not the only automaker that does that, or only minivan that does that. Another big plus is having the rear blinds. You gotta have that with kids in the back. Seat back pockets on both sides. You get 2 USB-C charging ports, and you have a 1500 watt, 120 volt, 3-prong household plug-in. So that's one of the pluses with this being a hybrid, is you're able to pull more from your plugs. And again, this XLE is great to even have the plugs. But there's a look at the 3rd row. You do get 2 USB-C ports over there, 2 bottle holders. You get a bottle holder on that side. The vents are integrated above here, but you also have the dual zone 2nd row climate controls, which is phenomenal. So, I mean, so far I'm pretty impressed with this. Now, when you have the key fob, you can do the quick motion where if you don't, let's say your hands are full, you're holding the kid or whatever, you just stick your foot underneath there really fast and then the door will open for you. And I apologize for the wind gust. Gas cap there. And into the back end, while that's going up, just a quick look underneath if you're curious. This gust is crazy, it does not stop. But plenty of space here in the 3rd row. If you want to, you can fold this up and put it in the floor there for even more space. You get a 1500 watt plug back here as well. And then to this front or rear passenger seat, excuse me. Again, you pull up here to fold that, and you can also push up here to slide it. But if you need the top tethers, There they are on either seat there. And then you also have a bottle holder that's netted on either side, which I think is pretty nifty, because especially if you've got a big sippy cup or something like that, it's easy to put that there. And then to our front passenger seat, we have power there. I like how they did this dash here. Get a lockable glove compartment down below. And then plenty of space underneath the shifter. There's a 12 volt. And you all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything on this window sticker. We get the XLE Plus package, so we get the JBL system for the most part. It's the biggest thing. And then those two 1500 watt, 120 volt outlets runs you an extra $300, which I highly recommend. But $50,005 is the suggested retail price. Fuel economy is 34 city, 36 highway, excuse me. Now as we come back around to the front end, just a quick look in the engine bay. And there is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid engine. And then let's just check out the blinkers. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the radio, we do get the Experience Drive Connect. So if you want to use a cloud nav, destination assist, all of that, you can do that with a subscription. Audio sources include AM, FM, XM, and then we also have the Apple Music, Amazon Music. On top of that, we get our wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. Link your phone there. A few climate controls. If you want to turn your S-Flow on, you can do that. Rear climate. And then the Eco Heat and Cool is there. And then your general settings include your language and units that you can adjust. Wi-Fi, hotspot, all of that right in here. And then your backup camera, there's that. You have the guidelines, but you can't turn the wheel and get the guidelines, which that kind of makes me mad, but I mean, it's not really a big deal. I don't really use them, but. And then volume, you can turn up there, click to mute. Down here, dual zone automatic climate controls. Again, you get the dual zone for the second row as well. So basically quad zone in a minivan is pretty neat. And then you can adjust fan speed, temperature there, go to the rear here. And then you have the auto you can set up here. 3-stage heated seats. And your wireless charging pad back here, your USB-A that connects to the radio is there. And then for the shifter, push this button on the side, reverse neutral drive, and then you can come over here, get those sport shifts. And you can see where you are on the power band in the middle of that gauge cluster. Your electronic parking brake, you pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. Automatic brake holds here, EV mode, and then you do get 3 other drive modes. So eco, normal, and then sport. Bottle holders are here. Pretty deep center console cubby space with 2 USB-C charge ports. And then up here, sunroof, so you can tilt or slide that. And hit it a second time and it opens all the way up. Pretty decent opening, I think. And there's a look at the back from up here. And then here, lights, sunroof controls. You can open either side door there, and then the cargo space there. And then you have a nice mirror to keep an eye on those bad kids. See who hit who first. And the garage door transmitter. Kind of hard to see with the lighting, but it's right there. Vanity mirror. And then back to the steering wheel itself. Left side stalk. And then auto, low beams, fog lights. Intermittent wipers are on the right side. One time off, intermittent low high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency here, then your rear wiper there, push back for that rear fluid, pull up for the front. And then left side of the steering wheel, we can use these 4 arrows, the OK and the back button to go through what's shown here. Change a lot of settings and all of that. And then volume, voice recognition. This goes to your audio sources, track list, radio station presets, and then we can toggle the cruise there. And then you can hold this button to go into the regular cruise, and then just turn it off, turn it back on to go back to radar. And then the lane keeping system. This is the gap adjust for the radar cruise. You can set your speed and cancel there. Hazards are right there. Push button start. Finally, here is the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Sienna XLE with all-wheel drive out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the Sienna here, you wouldn't think that a 4-cylinder engine with no turbo would push this thing like it does, but it actually gets up to speed pretty nicely, even in the eco mode here. So that's actually pretty impressive. And overall, you come out of the corner, I don't want to say it's noisy, but you can hear it. But then as it kind of lets off, it gets pretty quiet in here, which I like. Now with this having a 4-cylinder, I like to compare these to the Pacifica Hybrid I have. The Pacifica Hybrid is a plug-in, so I have that kind of benefit over this, but you're still getting 34 city, 36 highway just on the hybrid setup, which is pretty good. I don't think this is as quick as my van, but it's probably about what and what, honestly. Now what I do like about this is you do get that all-wheel drive capability. You have the different drive modes, which is nice. My van doesn't have that. And actually, I'm gonna put this in the sport mode because I just want to see if this is as quick as I think it is. Yeah, it doesn't pull as nicely as my van does, but still pretty good. I think for most people, you'll be just fine with this. Unless you've had a Pacifica Hybrid, then you'll feel the difference, or even an Odyssey with a V6. But I think this hybrid setup, especially for the fuel economy, is great. You still get the instant torque from electric motors, which is always good. But again, the all-wheel drive capability is another big plus that you really don't get in this segment. But overall, easy to drive like you'd expect from a minivan. Visibility is good, what you'd expect from a minivan. Can't see the hood at all, at least from my driving perspective. And then on top of that, I really like how they did this infotainment system, and I'm glad that we have the optional JBL system in this XLE. Now, if you can hear, or I should say, if you listen closely, you can hear the road, but it's not really a big deal for me. I like everything else about this, you know, comparing it to other vans in the segment. I feel like the Pacifica might be a tad less loud. I'm on an industrial road. You can see this 18-wheeler in front of me. That's pretty much 90% of the traffic that comes up and down this road. So this is louder. I don't remember the last time it's been paved, but I'm definitely feeling the road in the steering wheel. It's not bad, but I can feel it. And at this point, I'm nitpicking because the van itself is pretty solid. You have a 4-cylinder hybrid that's about what you'd expect from a previous gen V6 in terms of the pickup, the get up and go. But then you also have several different ways to drive this in terms of putting it into that sport mode, shift there. It's relatively fun to drive. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review the Sienna today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. If you're looking at a pre-owned one, that's something else I can help with as well. Just click that third link if you want maybe a 22, 23 body style, something like that. But I love that we have the hybrids in the Siennas and in the Camry standard, because it really does kind of give you the best bang for your buck, but also kind of helps with emissions as well. But the fuel economy is great, the power is great. Toyota just has a solid hybrid system in general. Now we're gonna get her ready for the pull, put her in a sport mode. Not gonna floor it, but I am gonna give it a bit just to test out the acceleration. Here we go. So pretty great merging power, I think. We're gonna test out the 2.0 here. We have the lane centering with the adaptive cruise. You don't get that 3.0 driving support here, but you still have the lane centering with the adaptive cruise control, which is about all you need. And I really think this is one of the best road tripping options here, because you do have the flexibility of that second row. You are able to put the third row on the floor. But most importantly, that second row, with how you're able to adjust it, it's just, it's fantastic. So if you want to put it, if you want to put the captain's chairs all the way to the front, have somebody in the third row, you can, or if you just want additional storage, whatever. But most importantly, if someone like myself is in that second row, I can really kick back and have all the space in the world. But even from the front, the seat's wide enough for my wider stature. There's tons of room up here to move about, hands and all of that. And it's a comfortable ride. Floats down the road, but then it's still somewhat engaging in the steering wheel. And I think for right at 50 grand, you get a pretty good vehicle that has a track record of being relatively reliable, specifically Toyota's hybrid powertrain. And it has the eCVT, but I've had pretty good experience with the eCVT, honestly. My Pacifica hybrid has almost, what, 75,000 miles on it? Might be almost 71,000, but over 70,000 miles on it. I have not had any issue out of that transmission. And that's one of the benefits with the Pacifica hybrid having the plug-in variant, because probably half my miles have been electric, which has kind of helped the strain on the gas engine, has helped the strain on the CVT, but where I drive it so frequently, that also kind of keeps everything moving smoothly and the oil running and all of that. But here you kind of have everything going at all times, and I think that's a good thing, specifically with this 4-cylinder and the reliability record that it has. So highly recommend this if you're in the market for a van. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Toyota Sienna XLE.